Hi everyone, this is Mark Wiltshire. Thanks again for joining me on the Explore Finland radio show. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's connected with me on social media as well as following me on the podcast. Now just broken through the 100 page followers on Facebook, which is fantastic. So please use Facebook, help me spread the news of the show and help other people find their way to exploring Finland with us. This week I'm going to be speaking to Tuukka Kiviranta about the game of Salibandy, which some of you may know as Floorball, others may know as Unihockey. I'll let Tuukka spend some time explaining what the game's all about. He's also going to be talking to me about SPV, the professional Salibandy team that he plays for, based here in Seinäjoki. And I think what we'll do now is head over to my conversation with Tuukka. I'm joined today by Tuukka Kiviranta, who is a player for SPV. Tuukka, thanks for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And maybe you can explain what is SPV?
SPV comes from Seinä and Peliveljet. Seinäjoki is our town, Wall River. Peli is the game. And Veljet comes from its brothers in English, so we're like game brothers.
Seinäjoki Game Brothers. Yeah. So there's this real team bonding even built into the
we're like brothers.
So Salibandy, it's indoor hockey.
Yeah,
basically.
It is.
Maybe you can explain, because there will be people listening who understand the game, and there will be people understand it well, and there will be people out there who've never heard it before.
Yeah.
So it sometimes goes by the name of Floorball. But in Finland it's known as Salibandy. But maybe you can tell us a little bit about the game, the court that you play on, the equipment that you use, and things like that.
Yeah, the pitch. The ring is like basketball court, the size of a basketball court, about 40 meters long and 20 meters width, and it's 5 against 5 game, and plus goalkeepers. Every player has a plastic stick. But the goalkeepers don't have. They have their own pads and mask, and they're moving on their knees because it's easier to save the balls like that. And
yeah, they have some padding on the legs and a helmet as well.
Yeah, because floorball is like really lightweight, but it's plastic and it hurts when it comes to skin. So
it's a hard hollow ball with holes in, a bit like a airflow golf ball, one of those practice balls that you get in golf.
It is. And there's 26 holes in it. In the floorball ball, and the holes are because if there won't be any holes, so that when you shoot it, the wind takes it and it would be like curvy and stuff like that. So now it goes straight because of the holes.
I guess we've all played with a ball playing football or other sports where you hit the thing and it goes off to the side.
Yeah, of course you can put some curve to the shot, and some players are really famous about it. But it's not like in soccer.
Yeah, sure. No, and you were saying, no, hey, soccer's okay. I'm very international. I can accept people calling it soccer. You said there's 20 in the squad, so you have these rolling substitutions. This is a bit like ice hockey, I guess.
Yeah. It's just like in ice hockey. In one team, there's about 20 players, and we have lineups, 5 in every line, and every line has their own role, and it's a really tactic game.
Right, so different groups of players go on at different times depending on what you're trying to
and depending on what lineup the opposite team is going to put in the field, and it's really a tactic game.
And when you're on the pitch, does everyone have a set position? Because it's a very fast moving game. But is it sort of you have a set position at the start of a play, but people move around wherever?
It's usually like 2 defenders and 3 forward players. Okay. But lineups have different kind of tactics, so sometimes it's like 3 defensive players, and it gets mixed in the field quite a lot because the floorball is so fast-paced sport.
And each group of 5, is it sort of a fixed team? So the coach will say, right, team 1, go, and you know what formation that
and of course we have different variations about those. You can have other defensive couple from other lineup, and then you can mix it as how much as you like.
So as a player, you have to be quite alert to what the coach is asking,
and then you cannot put 6 players in the same time. You get a penalty.
Yeah, well, that seems that seems fair enough. I was at the game, the football match a few weeks ago, where Seinäjoki played against the Kloppit, the supporters club, and in the supporters club team there were a few former players, and by the end of the game, I think the Kloppit had 15 players on the pitch, and nobody had really noticed. It was a surprisingly close game, actually. It finished 5-4 to Seinäjoki, but it was close. How often does that team, the team that's on the court, actually change?
It's about 40 seconds.
40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's so fast, you cannot do it more.
Yeah. So you just go out there and you play as hard and as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And then,
depending on tactic on the game, sometimes you put the bus in your own goal.
Yeah. So you park the bus in Salibandy as well as
sometimes, but our team does not do it because SPV's play style is quite aggressive and fast moving.
Okay. Oh, we'll talk about the style of the team in a moment. How long does the game last?
It lasts 60 minutes.
Okay.
There is 3 20-minute periods. And if the game is tied in the end, there is 5 minutes overtime with the golden goal rule.
Okay, and at the end of that period, if it's still level,
then it's tied.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
but in a playoff game, you have penalty shootout after it. But in the regular game, that's tied.
Yeah. Okay.
And each team get 1 point.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you lose in the overtime, you don't get any points. In ice hockey, you get 1 point. But in floorball, you don't get any points. So it's.
And if you win the game, you get
2 points.
Right. Okay.
Always 2 points.
Yeah. And this penalty shootout, is it because it's a very small goal and a very big goalkeeper?
Yeah.
So is it kind of one where you run from distance?
Usually they walk. The players walk.
Right. Okay.
So you have much time to think what you do and what the goal is going to do, and
maybe too much time.
Yeah, too much. And you can't pull the ball backwards.
Right. Okay.
Like it has to go to the forward all the time. Ice hockey, you can pull the puck behind, but in floorball you can't do it, so it's a bit difficult. And the goalkeepers are quite big nowadays, and the goal is not that big than in ice hockey.
No, that's true.
It's quite hard to make a goal in penalty shootout.
I've already learned 1 or 2 things that I didn't know before. I know very little about Salibandy. I met you last year, and I met one of your teammates, Mikko Kohonen, a year or so ago, and I've kept an eye on how SPV have been doing, but apart from that, I know very little. So I've learned a couple of things before the game tonight that will make my understanding a bit better. So that's a good thing. We've mentioned ice hockey once or twice already. Did Salibandy start as a sort of spin-off from ice hockey?
Yeah, I believe so. It was easy thing to do in gym halls and universities with the ball. You don't have to have ice or skates. It was easy thing to start. And floorball started in 1970 in Sweden, in universities, and then it arrived here via exchange students.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was such a young sport. I went to a scout group when I was a kid, and we one day visited a sports hall, and at this place they had what I now understand to be Salibandy equipment, but I remember the ball and these hockey sticks, which are kind of plastic head, and it's again they're not solid either, they're hollow, aren't they? So again, to move through the air more quickly. And it would have been a young sport then. We're talking about early 80s. That shows what an old man I am nowadays. But it had only been going sort of for 10 or 12 years by that time.
Yeah. Okay. And now it has grown really largely. It's like, I don't know the statistics, but I believe it's like number 201 in Finland.
As a count sport that people play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's really easy to start. You just have to have like indoor shoes and stick a couple of balls. You can play.
And the basic equipment's not ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, it's not.
So, SPV, how long has this club been going? If the sport is only 45 years old, then how long has SPV been
SPV has been founded in 1994.
Okay.
Tommi Koponen, who is now our head coach, was one of the founders with Ville Kivimäki and Kimmo Polleri. Ville and Kimmo are still in our team's background.
Okay, the heritage is all there still inside the club.
Strongly.
That's nice. And last year was your 20-year anniversary?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. And where do you play the home games here in Seinäjoki?
We play in Uimahalli Urheilutalo. Urheilutalo is the place where we play, and
so that's the swimming hall and sports hall, one building together there on the outskirts of the centre of town, and the sports hall itself had some work done to it recently.
Yeah, it has. I believe they made it look like new again.
Okay.
Yeah, and the audience gave like how much you can take audience before the
renovation.
Yeah, you can have about 700 people there. Now you can have 1,000. So it was really good to us because it's always full when we have our home play.
That would be good.
Yeah.
This evening then. What is the game that's on tonight? Who are you playing against?
We are playing against Salba from Rauma.
Okay.
And we lost to them in the fall, in the overtime.
Okay.
So it's a big game to us.
But I noticed that since then they seem to have had a tough season.
Yeah, they have. They're in the bottom of our league now. But I believe that it's going to be a tough game again. Tricky opponent to us.
So you're not promising me lots of goals?
I'm promising a lot of goals, but I don't know who's going to make them.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. You could be a politician.
Yeah.
This is some of your answers. Very careful. So the club started 20 years ago, but you've had quite a successful period over the last 5 years or so. Yeah.
Last year we dropped from the playoff in the first round, so it was really devastating to us and the team. But before that, in 2013, we won gold for the second time, and in 2012 we won gold also, and before that there was 1 silver and 2 bronzes.
Okay, so it's been nice steady progression over the years.
If you don't count last year.
And this is in the Finnish National League?
Yeah.
I understand also that you've got supporters or people taking an interest in the club from overseas as well. Is this because you played in European competitions? Yeah,
I believe that's why. Every time when you win the Salibandy Liga, the number 1 team gets to the Champions Cup in next year. And in Champions Cup there is teams from Sweden, Finland, Czech and Switzerland. So it's like the European Cup.
They're the big countries for Salibandy.
All the best teams from those countries. And we were there 2 years. First time we dropped out in quarterfinals, and the last time we were there in 2013, we lost the final with 2 goals to a Swedish team.
It's always a Swedish team.
I know. It's always the Swedish team.
In a way, it doesn't matter which sport. If Finland is going to drop at the last hurdle, it will be against the Swedish team.
It's not like much. It's always like a couple of goals.
Yeah. Okay. Close enough that you could have made it.
Yeah.
What is it, do you think, about Asperver that appeals to people from other countries that they might take an interest?
I believe it's our game style. It's really aggressive. We like to move a ball a lot. We run really much. We have good physics in our team. And I believe it makes us a really interesting team.
So it's an exciting, quick-moving, short-passing game.
Yeah, I believe so. I like to believe in that. And every now and then happens really amazing stuff. Great skills and, passing some tackles, which are not allowed, but sometimes it happens.
You mean physical challenges person to person and not allowed?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas in ice hockey, you see people getting smashed into the walls.
Yeah. In floorball, it's not like that.
No, you can tackle with your stick, but not with your body. Really.
You can lean on other player with your body, but you cannot hit to other player's stick. You cannot pull it up or press it down. Yeah, I played in a game a couple of years ago and people were lifting my stick all over the place, and I didn't realise that was not allowed in the rules. Yeah. It's like prison rules. Yeah, I guess maybe that's what we were playing at the time. How are things going this season then? We've talked about previous years, but how are things looking this year? It's looking good. We are number 2 now in our league, and we have 3 games left. Just 3 games in the season? Yeah, and then the playoff starts. And the best 8 teams are going to playoffs. And this weekend is quite
an unusual weekend, or certainly looks unusual to me as an outsider. You hear a lot about professional football teams complaining that they have to play a game every sort of 4 or 5 days and it's too much and we can't cope. You're playing tonight. This is Friday the 20th of February. You're playing at 6:30 tonight. And when is your next game?
Our next game is on Sunday.
Okay, so there's not so much time to recover there.
And on Saturday we have practices also, so it's quite tough, but it's not that. It's quite amateur sports still in Finland, so games are usually in the weekends. Yeah,
because you yourself, you work during the week and then you train in the evenings and play Salibandy at the weekends. Yeah, so you have to squeeze the games into those non-working days.
Yeah, but it's coming more normal to have like games in the week.
Yeah,
all the time.
You have to have a flexible boss.
Yeah, I have flexible boss.
You are your own boss, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking in English because hopefully people are listening to this outside of Finland as well. And if people are coming to Finland and they want to catch one of your games, when is the season on? You mentioned we're coming towards the end of the season now. So what time is the open season for Salibandy?
It starts in September and it ends like in April, May. When the final is.
Is that the final of the Finnish competition or the European competition?
The Finnish competition.
Okay.
Yeah. The Champions Cup, which I mentioned, is played in December.
Oh, right. Okay. So next December, you'll get the champions that finish around this time of year.
Yeah.
Getting together to play. Okay. Well, then fingers crossed that you make it.
It would be great. Yeah.
With 3 games to go and only a couple of points between you and the team at the top, is looking good.
Yeah.
Actually, you've mentioned playoffs once or twice. Is it that the top team in the league table is the champion, or is it the top teams then go and have a playoff?
Yeah, it's like the best 8
right, okay.
are going to play playoffs with each other.
So that makes up the quarterfinals, then the semi-finals.
And then the final, yeah.
Okay.
And it's like best from 5 games, best from 3 games. So you have to win your opponent 3 times, and then you make it to the next step.
Right, okay. So you get to the end of the season, you've almost got as many games again.
But some teams are going to have their vacation already because they don't make it to playoffs, but we have like half of the season left.
But that's why you're here.
Yeah.
For the glory and the medals.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why I play.
So if people want to come and visit... Maybe they want to come and visit, especially to watch you play, but if they're in Finland and they want to come and visit, you said before that the home games for Asperver are here in Seinäjoki at the swimming hall, at the sports hall. If people want to find out more information about Asperver in particular, they should go to what website?
Peliveljet.com.
Okay.
So there is a lot of info about players and team and history, and I believe there's some about floorball rules also, and
I will put some links in the show notes that I put together for this on my website on explorefinlandpodcast.com. So all the links and the spellings for some of these words that we've mentioned will be on there.
Yeah, that's good.
And also I'll include links to the Salibandy Liga. That's
floorball.fi.
Floorball.fi. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, most people listening to this will be able to remember that, I guess. But I'll put it on the website anyway. I think that for now, Tuukka, thanks for taking the time to
really
speak to you.
Interesting and nice.
Yeah, and I'm going to the game tonight. Maybe if you've had a good result and you're feeling in a good mood, maybe I'll get a chance to speak to you after the game, just to see how.
I'm not in bad mood anytime. If I lose, it's not like the end of the world to me. So
you're a good loser.
Yeah, I'm a good loser.
Even though it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, hopefully not today.
I hope not. Yeah. There's no pressure, but I went to my first Pesäpallo game last year, and Jumujussit won 19-4.
Okay.
Can you promise me a win of 19-4 tonight?
No, we can't.
No,
I can't. It would be a good result, but
it would be very nice. Maybe I can be a lucky charm for all of the local.
Yeah, then you have to come to every playoff game
to buy myself a season ticket.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how we get on tonight, and good luck with the game.
Yeah, thanks very much.
It's now the evening of the game. I've just stepped outside after the first period to give you a few thoughts. The atmosphere in there is great. It's not a completely full house, but it's very noisy. There is a drum being banged. There's also loud punk and rock music playing, kind of whenever the ball goes out of play, and also as soon as there's a goal scored or at the end of each period, then on comes the music. So I thought I'd step outside where it's a little bit quieter, apart from the odd car going past. That first period was really quite something. Just as I left Tuukka earlier, he gave me the info that they were planning to kind of try and blitz Salba in the first period, and they really did it. It was it's currently 5-0 to Asperver, which is all I could have hoped for really in my first time down here for a very long time. But the downside of that is that Tuukka got injured. I don't know, halfway through the first period, he limped off, spent the rest of that period sat down on the floor, looking very sorry for himself, and I doubt that he'll be playing again. But I'm gonna head back in, see how the second period goes, and see if he makes a reappearance. Now it's the end of the second period, and it's carried on pretty much as the first one did. Really, it's now 8-0 to Asperver. I don't think that Salibandy are going to come back into this. They're looking more and more demoralised with every goal. There was some disagreement with the referee towards the end of that second period, and it took a long time for the team to come out. The goalkeeper was slumped in front of his goal, and the rest of the team didn't hurry to get back out and play. Tuukka didn't reappear on the pitch. Unfortunately, he's sitting with the rest of the team with his tracksuit on. I don't know if I'll get to speak to him again after the game, but I'll come back and give you the final score and hopefully get a word with him if possible. That's it. That's the end of the final period. It finished in a resounding 10-1 victory for Asperver against Salba. I intend to get down and watch it again. It's been quite something. After watching the Pesapallo last summer, I finished baseball in my first game, witnessing a 19-5 victory, which is a bit of a freak result. I think to come down here today and expect to see 11 goals scored was beyond what I could have expected, and I think I might be hooked. I definitely want to come and check out this game again and this team. It's quite exciting. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get another opportunity to speak to Tuukka after the game. I had to head away before I got the opportunity to speak to him, but he sent me a text message afterwards explaining that it was his hamstring that he'd tweaked. Nothing too serious, might keep him out for a week or so. There's another game about a week or so after the recording of this episode, and I'm going to try and get down there, and hopefully he'll be back in action there. The final home game before the playoffs. Also, don't forget to head over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and to rate, review and subscribe to the show. You can also head over to my website, the explorefinlandpodcast.com, where you can also follow the page. So every time I publish something on there, could be show notes, could be just a general article that I put on there from time to time, then you'll get a notification about that. And also, as I said at the start, please remember to connect with me on social media, not just on Facebook, but I'm also on Twitter, on Instagram or on Google+. So if one of those takes your fancy, then please find me on there. Search for Explore Finland Radio Show, you'll find me. And help me spread the word, help more people find me, help me connect with more people out there. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again on the Explore Finland Radio Show. Thanks very much. Bye.